Hello and welcome back to the TheDropOutDragon. Today we're going to be covering the Carthus Curved Sword. Now this weapon can be farmed from the skeletons in the catacombs, and it is a very, very effective curved sword. It reminds me a lot of the Gold Tracer and its range and its spammable abilities. However, the weakness to this weapon is anything with hyper armor, so before people start crying OP, remember that. Let's go over the moveset real quick. These are the R1s, the one-handed, and these are the R2s. Here are the R1s for the two-handed. And righty. And the rolling attack. Very quick, kind of comes out. I don't do a whole lot of rolling attacks in this game. I know a lot of people don't do a whole lot of rolling attacks in this game. One of the reasons being is that they're so easily parryable that it's very telegraphed when you roll into somebody. So you kind of have to mix that up or you're just going to be parried like off the bat. But let's go ahead and start dueling with the weapon and so we can start talking about it. Alright, so I'll go ahead and start off, let you guys know I have been sick the last 4 days, and right now I am swimming in drugs, and it feels great. It might affect my commentary a little bit, but I don't think it'll affect my gameplay all that much. Now, this weapon's big strength is its spammability. It's very easy to spam in people's faces. You can be very aggressive with it. You get in with a running attack, and you're just like, oh, hey, and then you go, ho, 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 and you just catch them in rolls. Very easy to do, unless, of course, they're using a greatsword or an ultra greatsword. These kinds of weapons that have the hyper armor will outtrade you in the end, even if you're buff, and they will be able to just smash in your face. So they're going to space you out and then get you on those trades. Now that is the proper way to use those weapons against something like this, which is just so inherently aggressive. So what I like to do is I like to keep pressure on with the running attacks and only catch when I think I can catch, because if you mindlessly spam, you're just wasting stamina, because these people see a weapon like this and they go, oh, you're one of those. So here's this guy. He's being real patient because he knows this thing hurts. This thing hurts a lot. Okay, won that running attack. He's gonna try to parry. I figured that. Sometimes you can catch a roll with the R2. It's kind of rare for me, at least on my timing. I have a lot of Dark Souls 2 timing I still have to get rid of. And I screwed up that backstab, so he just got to he just got to get his parry. Just spamming that parry a little bit. I'm not sure why he switched to the. Not sure why he switched to barehanded. Maybe he forgot. Maybe he had a pocket big sword before and he just totally forgot. Maybe he screwed that up. We got more parries. More parries. There we go. Come on now. So you got to be very careful when you're putting on aggression, because people know it's coming. And they'll parry, and they'll do it a whole lot. So you have to be careful. He's playing a real passive, but he's making mistakes now. There we go. A lot of parry spam. If you just time out your blows, you won't get parried so easily. I'm pretty sure that guy had like a pocket greatsword or something at one point, and so him switching to his fist was actually a mistake. I think he had taken that off and just completely forgot about it, which does happen. I have seen people do that, and it makes me laugh a lot. So that was wasted damage on his part, or maybe he was just trying to disrespect me, which is totally okay. That does happen as well. So you have to be a little bit careful with very aggressive weapons like this, katanas too. Any of the fast weapons, people know what you're going to do. You're going to running attack a whole lot. You're going to try to catch them in rolls, and so when they figure out that pattern, and they figure out your pattern as a player, when you think you're safe enough to do a rolling attack or a running attack, whenever you think you're safe to do that, they're going to parry. You can bait out these parries and go for backstabs. You can bait out these parries and wait. You know, just delay your attack for just a second or two, not even a second, like half a second, and you'll be able to avoid it. You might be able to punish them. If they're using a Cestus, like our Mr. Man was before, they have almost instant recovery frames. I mean, it's very quick. The Cestus is the meta for parrying, even though I prefer like the Buckler. But these people, they really, really want to get in there. So this guy is another Cestus, and we have to be careful because he's the kind of guy who will be like, oh, I'm going to parry, and I don't want to be punished for it. I don't want to be punished for parrying because my recovery frames are so quick, faster than the shields. And he missed that. But we can see how I can kind of keep that pressure on, get in his face with this running attack, the two-hand. It was so much like the Gold Tracer. I'll let him hit me there because now Chaos Blade. Oh, he's... Oh. Yes, I'm losing. Let me switch to my S-Stock, as it is my real weapon. Yeah. That's a common trend as well. A lot of people will main hand something and be like, yeah, this is my weapon. I'm not rude at all. And then they'll be like, oh, I'm losing. Let me switch to my rapier, and then R1 spam like a whole lot. It is a thing. People do it a whole lot in this game. You have to watch out for that as well. Other fast weapons against this one really just turns into like a running attack match. That does happen. People are trying to catch each other in rolls. They're trying to catch each other in anything they can. So that's really, it's all about patience when two fast weapons come up against each other. And when a fast weapon like this coming against a slower weapon like a greatsword and ultra great, it's really patience on your part, because all that guy's waiting to do is trade. So the way you do that is you bait out his attacks, make him waste his stamina, and then catch him in rolls if you can once you get up in his face, and he'll be like, oh, because he won't have the stamina to keep going. So you'll have to be a little bit careful that way. Bait out their attacks. Don't just spam running attacks, because you'll just get traded with, and it will hurt. It'll hurt a whole lot, so be careful. Be careful. Alright, we've summoned this guy in. Let's wait around a bit. I'm glad that this area is pretty. It's not offensive to the eyes, but the loading time is pretty ridiculous, to be honest with you. It's pretty ridiculous for PS4. Especially at a game that's at like 30 frames. It kind of drives me nuts. I do wish there were more areas that people had chosen for PvP. That would be nice. Okay, he can't parry because he is using a sword art shield, so I'll go ahead and break his guard and call that one a day. Okay. Sorry about that, Katana Man. That is not how you fight a curved sword. Mr. Katana Man there, he had plans to catch me or spam on me, which was a mistake. That was not a good idea, because I'm going to win those trades, even against Katana, because of the damage this thing does. It'll hurt you. It'll hurt you a whole lot, so that was not a good idea, and especially pulling up a shield like that when I was obviously trying to break his guard. You know, a kick was coming, and he wasn't thinking about it. There's a lot of people who don't really know how to manage their stamina when it comes to shields. They're not, you know, very good shield users, and they'll just hold it up the entire fight, and they'll say, oh, please hit me, I have shield, I am doing good, I am very good at game. And then they aren't watching their stamina, and they just get, boom, gone. You know, one kick after 2 R1s or something like that. So if you're using a shield that isn't obviously a great shield, which is, you know, OP as hell, if you're using one of the medium shields or you're using one of the small shields, you can really fuck up and get riposted pretty hard because you weren't paying attention. So be sure to manage your stamina if you're using a shield. The shield I'm using is 100% for fashion. This is the Hawkwood shield, and this is totally fashion. Okay, I don't think he actually has stamina to keep going on that. So he wants to play real passive, which is totally okay. I can kind of see it coming. He's got that shield. Not a move I would have done, because now you're going to get roll BS'd, but try for a wake up. Nah, it's too slow for a wake up, to be honest with you. It feels that way. I'd have to release it a little bit early, which makes you question if it was worth it. And he's looking at me. He says, why won't you fall for me and my spear? Why won't you do it? Why won't you be spear buddy with me? No, I'm not going for that R2 either. Okay, see right there, some weapons don't have the ability to get in your face like that. Okay, what are you doing? You're getting parried. Alright. GG guy. Those attacks, those really long thrusting attacks like the Astora Greatsword or the spears or the lances or anything like that, be very cautious when doing that. If somebody is spamming parries in your face, or they are, you know, using a shield that parries very well, like I am, you have to be very careful, because things like that will happen, and they'll happen very easily. It is very easy to parry things like that, and you have to be a little bit careful, or you'll end up like that guy. And it hurts. It hurts a lot when you end up like that guy. Be very cautious. Oh boy, so I wonder what we're gonna get next. But really, with this weapon, like I said, you know, you wanna get in their face a little bit. You know, put some pressure with the running attacks. You know, kind of treat it like you would a katana, but don't rely on, you know, your crazy phantom range. You won't get crazy phantom range. That's what you have to rely on with this weapon is its speed. This thing's speed is greater than that of a katana. So you'll be doing the running attacks, which are about the same speed as a katana, but its R1s are so much faster on both two-handed and one-handed. So remember that. Remember that. Alright, we got ourselves a guy using an ultra. Now you have to be very careful. We're using the weapon that hyper armor just absolutely destroys. So if he gets a trade, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a whole lot. Now he was able to knock me there, but he's so thirsty for a parry for that Hornet Ring one shot, because it will be a one shot. It will be a one shot if he gets me with it. So he's getting aggressive on me, and I'm just gonna keep him off my ass by being a little bit of a spammy tryhard right there in his face, and I just had some roll poise there. That does happen in this game. I'm not sure why he buffed that, but I'll go ahead and catch him right there. I'm not sure why he did that. I would not have done that. But he made the conscious decision to say, hey, here's a free hit on me, please don't hit me in my roll, and I did not I did not listen to that request. I don't know why he did what he did. Maybe it was a misclick or something like that. It's still kind of early into the game, so you never know how these people will be. And you never know what mistakes everybody will make. Everybody's been bad once. I've been bad. I still am bad. And, you know, things happen. And I'm not sure if that was a misclick or not. My brain keeps running over that scenario, whether it was a misclick or he was just tired of my shit and wanted to spam on me. I have no idea, but he underestimated the speed and quickness of this weapon. This weapon will get you if you're not careful. Now, as compared to the other curved swords, I think this one is the best. It has the most range, it seems, as far as I'm aware. I'm sure there'll be frame testing for the, you know, on the PC and whatnot. But it seems to have the most range. It does a lot of damage. I don't know if it does the most damage, but it does a lot of damage. It does bleed. It has multiple options. So let's see. We got a Greatshield. Okay, well, against a Greatshield, we're going to go ahead and we're going to swap out the Dex ring for the Night Slayer's ring and see if it makes any difference. It's not a ring I use a whole lot, but he's got the enemy right now. He has the enemy weapon, or the enemy shield. Broke his guard. Surprised about that. Holy hell, right there in one combo. Now, he's got a Black Knight sword, which will... Oh, there we go. Get in his face. Oh, he's fat rolling. Oh, rip Greatshield. Now, that sword right there, if he had played his cards right, he could have stayed on the defensive there and maybe got some hyper going on with that. But that wasn't bad. I can't complain about that fight at all. That's the first time I was able to effectively get rid of a Greatshield in front of me. I'm happy about that. I'm happier than you guys are. Now there was a recent patch, but I don't know if they lowered the stability or changed the stability values or anything like that on the Greatshields. So that might have been the case. Or maybe that guy just didn't have enough endurance. Who knows? He was fat rolling, and people who fat roll and still think they can do that in this game, they might not have the greatest build. Because fat rolling in this game is death. Because even the slowest of the weapons of the game can catch people in rolls if they're fat rolling. Which is so not the case with the other rolls at all. Oh, Snapringer. I actually know this person. Good guy. Pretty laggy on Scholar, but he's not warping around now, so let's all thank Snapringer for upgrading his internet. Now, he's also got another weapon that does fairly good against this weapon because they are able to hyper. So any katana, the straight swords, you know, the curved swords, maybe less of the straight swords as katanas and curved swords. Those weapons that are so heavily reliant on their running attack can just be so disrupted by anything that's got hyper frames. So you have to be a little bit careful. Okay, he did an R2 there. I was hoping he would not, and he'd do an R1. Maybe I could set up parry him with this thing. Didn't have the range there, and he's going to punish me for it. Oh, he's getting out of my face. This is no more. But he's, don't do that. Do never, never, never unlock. Never unlock in somebody's face when they're spamming on you. You're dead. You never, never do that. Well, that's about all I can say about this weapon. To be 100% honest with you, you know, just kind of space your attacks, get your spam on if you really need to, especially if you're using a greatsword, apparently, and you know, don't become so reliant on your running attacks because you're going to go against weapons in the game that have that hyper armor. And like I said, hyper armor in this is very powerful, and they will trade with you for forever. Some of the R2s on some of the ultra grades, if you just walk into that, that's 600 damage right in your face. That's 600, and at no point will you have a running attack that does that much damage. With a weapon like this, you're not going to do that. So that's not an efficient trade. You'll be upset and you'll say, "Ow, what did I do wrong?" You'll grow impatient and you'll get hurt. So be careful about that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. I have been pretty sick the past 4 days, which is why I haven't had very much content on stream or YouTube, but hopefully that is changing. As the first day I've actually felt like I could talk, so we'll see how that goes. But as far as all of that, I hope you all have a good day, and the Dropout Dragon is dropping out.